The moment I saw Trent fumbling with the secure servers while bragging about corporate synergy, I knew my career at the defense facility was about to collide with pure disaster. My name is Valerie, and I design the absolute fortresses of digital encryption that shield national intelligence from global threats. I live in a world where a single misplaced character in a string of code can destabilize an entire government grid. Trent was a newly appointed director of operations who believed that managing highly specialized network infrastructure was identical to running a retail clothing chain. He spent his mornings drinking expensive juice blends and lecturing my engineering team about agility while understanding absolutely nothing about computational mathematics. Our windowless facility stayed chilled to a precise temperature to preserve rows of massive mainframe computers. The friction between us peaked when I discovered a strange lag in our secure network validation protocols after returning from a short afternoon break. My specialized credentials were being redirected through an unauthorized logging portal, which meant someone inside the company was actively spying on my files. I quickly utilized a hidden command line sequence to review the system registry and found evidence of a terrible intrusion. An amateur user had attempted to copy our restricted root directory, but they accidentally scrambled the routing command and deleted their own tracking logs instead. I knew Trent was behind this foolish attempt to access my proprietary data architectures, so I took immediate precautions to protect my work. I secretly downloaded a complete emergency mirror of our master encryption keys onto a tiny flash drive. The trap sprung the following morning when I received an urgent calendar invitation to meet with Trent and the human resources manager named Brenda. The small conference room smelled heavily of artificial floral air fresheners and overwhelming tension as I took my seat across from them. Trent slid a forged document across the table that claimed my top-secret federal security clearance had officially expired. He demanded that I immediately surrender my physical access badges and digital tokens so his new team could take over my division. I knew clearances do not simply vanish due to administrative errors, but I kept my composure and refused to sign their separation paperwork. Trent smiled coldly as security escorted me from the property, assuming he had successfully stolen the keys to my kingdom. I retreated to my home monitoring station where I utilized a hidden maintenance portal to watch the workspace security cameras in real time. Trent had already brought in his close associate Wesley, who was a self-proclaimed Silicon Valley tech prodigy wearing designer streetwear. Wesley began boasting about modernizing our complex military defense software, which he arrogantly dismissed as outdated legacy code. The situation deteriorated rapidly when Wesley attempted to download public code packages into our completely isolated federal computing environment. The strict security firewall blocked his unauthorized requests, so he decided to force system access by completely wiping our internal verification records. I watched the monitors in absolute shock as he deleted the primary network checksums that regulated our security. Wiping those records instantly triggered a silent emergency switch that interpreted the sudden data deletion as an active hostile invasion. The system immediately initialized a total network lockdown sequence, converting terabytes of classified intelligence into an unreadable block of solid digital stone. This automated defense protocol generated an instant warning transmission directly to Federal Intelligence Headquarters in Washington. Within minutes, my encrypted personal telephone buzzed with an emergency notification from my federal handlers confirming an active security breach. I informed the government agents that Trent had unlawfully terminated my employment and granted system access to an unverified civilian operator. The agency immediately halted all corporate defense funding and initiated an emergency trace on our secure facility. Back on the security monitors, Trent was frantically demanding that Wesley fix the rapidly spreading network error as file names converted into random strings. In a moment of supreme foolishness, Trent ordered Wesley to perform a hard manual restart of the entire mainframe computer array. Pulling the power during an active encryption cascade completely corrupted their remaining operational data structures. Ignorant of the destruction they caused, Trent actually ordered sparkling wine to celebrate the departure of what he called old corporate weight. His hollow victory party ended abruptly when the server racks restarted with bright amber warning lights indicating a fatal system failure. The system demanded a biometric clearance signature that was permanently linked to my unique physical profile. Trent desperately dialed my cellular number, trying to trick me into returning under the false pretense of finalizing my exit compensation. I poured a glass of tea and ignored his incoming messages while watching the server lights shift from warning amber to a critical pulsing red. The automated system was now entering its final countdown phase to permanently purge all data. The next morning, a heavily armored government vehicle with tinted glass and federal plates arrived at the front entrance of the office building. Special Agent Briggs from the Defense Security Agency marched inside, accompanied by multiple military personnel to investigate the irregular network behavior. They discovered Wesley sleeping on the floor, surrounded by empty cans and total failure. Agent Briggs confronted Trent regarding the missing Prime Administrator and demanded an immediate review of the secure facility access records. Trent attempted to recycle his false narrative about my expired credentials, but the federal agents possessed global database records showing my active status. The military technical teams bypassed the local staff and began deploying forensic laptops into the system. My phone rang again, and the federal director requested my immediate presence at the facility to neutralize the impending data destruction cycle. I arrived at the office flanked by 2 uniformed officers and watched the panicked corporate employees scatter across the main lobby. Trent looked absolutely terrified as I walked directly past him into the red-hot server room. I plugged my secret flash drive into the primary maintenance port and executed the proprietary handshake sequence to override the lockdown. The cascading red warnings stopped immediately as my custom encryption keys re-established the integrity of the compromised National Archives. The server lights shifted back to a beautiful stable green as the system returned to perfect order. Agent Briggs confiscated the forged termination letter from my bag and immediately detained Trent for committing a serious federal felony against the government. The company chief executive officer arrived just in time to officially terminate Trent and banish Wesley from the premises permanently. The Defense Department immediately revoked the corporate contract and transitioned my entire security team to direct federal employment. I packed my personal belongings into a small box and walked out into the warm afternoon air with a profound sense of accomplishment. I realized that true authority does not come from a corporate title or a polished executive office suite. Real power belongs to the quiet professionals who actually understand the foundation of the systems they are trusted to protect.